Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fat Mascara, a podcast about beauty culture. That's the tagline for 2025. We're sticking with it. I'm Jen Sullivan. I'm your co-host. Jess will be back on Wednesday. So as you may know, we're coming to the end of our little holiday hiatus. So on Wednesday, we're going to have a news episode for you, catching up on everything that happened in beauty culture over the holidays and the start of the new year. But today, Jess and I were working today on booking guests for 2025. And we're always thinking about the mix of people we have, but also which founders are worthy of having on Fat Mascara. So you'll notice we don't always have beauty founders on. I feel like we get pitched them all the time, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't want you to use our podcast as just like, here's your brand story and how you sell products. And it's a glorified advertisement for your brand. Like, I want to talk to founders who have something really interesting and different to say. And sometimes it's hard to know who those people are going to be. But this is one founder. I don't think there was any doubt in our minds that we needed to book her. In fact, I'd want to talk to her again. So it really stands out. This is our interview with Anastasia Soare. She's the founder of Anastasia Beverly Hills and still serves as its CEO. As you'll hear her explain, she considers herself an American dream, which I love. She came to the United States actually during the Romanian Revolution in the late 80s, and she was seeking political asylum. So she was an esthetician. You probably know her as somebody who does brows, but she built a business doing brows and then built her namesake brand, Anastasia Beverly Hills. Still one of the biggest beauty brands on social media. Like 18 million founders, has spin-off brands and products that she's done from there. And get this, in 2023, so this was 3 years after the interview, Forbes estimated the value of her entire business at $500 million. So her daughter, Claudia Soare, who you'll hear us mention, is currently the brand's founder and creative director, and Anastasia is the CEO. They've taken on investing partners, but she's still very much involved. So we're going to talk brows, of course, and what you may not know about making your brows look great, but also you can hear what she thinks about business and building a brand and even taking on investors. This was actually a quick interview. It was recorded in January 2020. Wow, what a time. So it's a quickie, and we did the podcast a bit different back then. So if the rhythm feels different, that's why. But it's still a great interview, and it's a founder I really admire, so I wanted to have her back on. But as I said, I'll be back next week. Jess will be back next week, and we'll be talking about the latest in beauty culture. For now, here's Anastasia. Okay, so we're here with Anastasia Soare, like the party, she tells me. Soare. She's the queen of brows, but really like the empress of brows. She's done everybody's brows, Jennifer Lopez, Naomi Campbell. We were just talking, she did Michelle Obama's. But more importantly, she's built a beauty empire with her brand, Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is one of the top followed brands in the beauty industry on social media. I don't know if that's still true. Is that true?
Yes, so we have 20 million followers.
20 million followers.
20 million?
Yeah, Anastasia Beverly Hills has 20 millions. I just opened maybe 8 months ago my personal Anastasia Soare. I have like
I don't think I followed
240.
yet.
And you should, Anastasia Soare. And
Follow.
behind the scenes.
Oh, nice.
And my daughter Norvina, she has like 1.4 million.
I like Norvina's palettes. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
Before we get into beauty and brows, I have followed your career for many years, and you are such a true American success story. So if you don't mind, because I love a story of like, came to America, built an empire. What is the story behind how you got started in this country?
Well, if you want to talk about the American dream, you look at one right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I came in 1989, and I got a job in the beauty industry.
From Romania, right?
From Romania. I migrated here. My husband came here before me in 87 with political asylum. So I had a green card even before I was here.
So you were an asylum seeker.
Yes.
That's important to know.
And I started working as an esthetician in a salon 3 months after I came here, doing facial and body waxing. And I saw a void in eyebrows.
Where were you exactly working?
I was working
like a little
at
salon
on Melrose Place called Giovanna Utah. And I kind of was that aha moment where I realized that looking in the picture when I was in school, my eyebrow was pencil thin and round. My esthetician in Romania obviously penciled my eyebrow, but she didn't know exactly the shape, the perfect shape for me. And I started going to the library and trying to kind of understand for myself to find the perfect shape for my face.
This is while you were an esthetician.
Yes, while I was an esthetician, I thought like, that's why I look surprised on those pictures because my eyebrow was shaped wrong.
Or tired or
Yes.
like angry. Yeah.
No, I was surprised all the time because they were round.
It was the night. Well, what year was this? Like the
90.
Yeah, they were skinny back then,
Yes,
right?
skinny and thin. And I start putting attention into eyebrows, and slowly I start developing this technique on how to shape eyebrow according everybody's bone structure and natural shape.
So you mentioned that the trend at the time was this really skinny, like, the Kate Moss brow. Or...
No, it was the Pamela Anderson.
Oh,
do you remember?
Perfect
in the
visual,
90s
yes.
was the perfect Pamela Anderson. Everybody wanted that eyebrow.
Super skinny. And you're
Yes.
going, off to the side and you're bringing in something completely different, which is that there's a golden ratio. And what does that mean? Does that necessarily mean fuller brows or...
And
what was the
ratio, there are
reaction?
some measurements that the eyebrow should be. I made it simple because it's a little more complicated. But my daughter always said, "Mom, make it simple. Not everybody understands what you are saying." So basically, the eyebrow should begin above, middle of inside of the nostril, outside corner of the nose, corner of the eyes. That should be the
That
end.
trick with the pencil that everybody does, that was
Yes.
your trick?
Yes, of course.
Huh.
Tip of the nose, middle of the iris, when the eyebrow, that line, imaginary line means the eyebrow, that should be the highest part of the eyebrow. So I created some stencils just to make it easier for the consumer to understand what the perfect shape should be. And I realized that, look, I'm only in Beverly Hills. I should, do some products because when my client will leave my chair, her eyebrow will look perfect because I will use the Vaseline and eyeshadow to mix to create this pomade.
Right.
And then they will say, well, but tomorrow when I wash my face,
Yeah.
my eyebrow still has some gaps. And that was the moment when I decided to create products.
And since then, I'm sure you've seen thousands of pairs of eyebrows, right?
Yes.
What are women still getting wrong? We've had such a big influx of new brow products, but do you still go out in the world and be like, oh, look at these brows?
I look at eyebrows from a point where I will look at somebody and think, oh, I could change a little bit and will transform completely the face. Because eyebrow is one feature on our face that really brings balance and proportion. And it's so important, the shape, according everybody's bone structure.
Are people they're changing them from what it should be from their natural bone structure?
Absolutely.
So that's the big...
Women think that, if I tweeze here, I will open my eyes.
She's pointing to an arch,
I've made that
faking an
mistake.
arch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm making it now. We'll talk later. But you think it's going to open up the area.
And it doesn't. It doesn't. The eyebrow needs to be long enough to balance perfectly the eye and the face. So there are measurements that's why I created that step by step, how to achieve the perfect eyebrows. And I think women are anxious and they over tweeze, but because you think, I want to open my eye, I want to make it better, I want to do it.
More work should make it better.
Yes, and it's not.
And Jen and I get so many brow products all the time. And I don't know if I should be using a pomade, a stencil, a pencil,
a wax, a powder.
Yeah, there's so many.
So
There's so many different things now. What do you think is the one universal product that everyone needs for better brows?
In my line, the best and the easiest product to begin as a beginner is the Brow Wiz. It's a thin pencil that is very easy to use. Brow Definer is a pencil as well that is for beginners.
So pencils are the easiest for beginners.
Pencils are the easiest. If you want to go to the pomade and powder as well, it's easy. It's not that difficult. But deep brow and deep brow gel and pomade are a little bit, it takes little training. And to be honest with you, I think eyebrows are something that you need to practice to get good at. take an hour.
Not
when
tweezing, you mean about filling them in.
Filling them in. Take a day, I don't know, a day off. You have
Take a day off to practice your brows.
Not a day off. Take an hour or half an hour and start practicing a product that you want to, and practice few of the products, I think, and see which one you feel more comfortable.
What was the first Anastasia brow product?
We had many. We had pencils, we had stencils,
you went
tweezers.
Straight in with the full line.
Full line. Of course, we had a different pomade. We relaunched the pomade because the consumer was so not even thinking that, do I need to use something on my eyebrows? Pomade was a little too advanced.
Mm-hmm. Pomade is like, is it a gel with a tiny brush?
Yeah, you need to use a brush, but pomade is it's creamy tube, texture.
Right? Yeah,
it's into a jar, a glass jar.
Oh, it's in a jar. Sorry.
So it's a creamier texture that is waterproof, and once you use it, you could use it as strokes of hairs. You could create strokes of hairs. I think it's a great product once you start, getting to know the products and comfortable using.
When did you start your line? What year?
I started my line in 1998. We launched in our store in Beverly Hills in 1999. And in 2000, we launched in Nordstrom's, in 20 Nordstrom's, with a brow service.
And you were just doing brow products at that point,
yes.
correct?
When you said your store in Los Angeles,
Beverly Hills.
So you eventually went out into your own.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. I opened a store in 97 and doing eyebrows, facial, and body waxing. And then in 98, we launched the makeup line. It was a full makeup line, by the way.
Like with foundation?
With foundations, powders, and everything. And we launched in Nordstrom's in 2000 in 20 doors. And we realized that we need to pay for the makeup artist. And I couldn't afford because, I mean,
the person to work the counter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we had to pay. And I realized that eyebrow could be sustained and sold by the esthetician that they were doing eyebrow service. So we pulled the makeup and we kept only eyebrow products.
Smart. I had no idea.
I don't know if it was smart. Obviously, it wasn't.
I think it was very smart.
I had to make a decision that I have to maintain certain products that, only the eyebrow products were able to be sold by the esthetician.
Right.
The rest of the makeup, we didn't have the money. So we pulled back and we relaunched the makeup in 2014-15.
Got it. And so how many SKUs does Anastasia Beverly
We
Hills
have almost 400.
That's
what?
Crazy.
Yes.
And do you own your company?
Yes, I own. Until September last year, I own 100%. And last year, we sold the minority to TPG, private investors.
This is interesting because we've been talking a lot lately about brands that sold a majority stake.
Hedge fund, yes.
Or a hedge fund.
This feels like it's happening every 3 months. Jen and I have a topic about this.
For us, it made sense. We had exposure. We were selling in 2,500 doors in United States, and we wanted to do it internationally to expand. It takes a lot of skills, power, money, and especially operational. It's very difficult. It's not easy. And I realized that I will not be able to do it on my own.
Mm-hmm. Go international
because I have to be in the office. We still have to approve products. We still have to work on the marketing and the creating the products. And to operate internationally will take me away from the office. So that's why we chose TPG. That is been great for a year.
But what's interesting is you are very much in the weeds of your business. And, a big part of your business, I think, from my perspective, grew from Instagram, right? From social media.
Yes.
Like that was a real game changer for you. You were really an early adopter. So what drew you to that?
Well, I worked with my daughter and in 2012, and she said, well, we need to jump on this because this will be amazing. And we could show we used to travel to kind of teach our consumer how to use the eyebrow products. And she said, Mom, if we post videos, this will be a lot easier. We could reach a broader audience. And we did. This is what we did. And it was absolutely incredible.
But at that time, businesses weren't using
No.
Instagram in that way.
No.
And you were early to that. That was,
Yes.
your daughter's a smart woman.
My daughter, yes. I give her full credit.
Well, since 2012, you've watched probably a lot of beauty brands come and go in the beauty space.
Yes.
There's been an influx of so many new brands in the last couple of years. What do you see them doing wrong where you're just like, I learned this lesson already, like these new beauty brands need to know?
I think every brand has a point of difference, and they need to understand who they are and who their consumers are. And that connection, I think, I could speak for myself. I don't know what other people are doing, but I think what was important for us is just not only creating amazing products, but being close to the consumer, listen to them, what they want, what they don't want, what they wish they could have. So I think being in the salon business and working one-on-one with our customers, I think we had the ability to learn very much the consumer.
Speaking about other brands, is there someone, brands look to Anastasia because as like a role model, like they want to follow in your footsteps, your brand story. Are there any brand founders or other brands that you really admire?
I admire every brand founder has a story to tell. They have a point of difference, and I mean I love Barbara Sturm. She has a skincare line that I admire. The Tatcha, so many. I mean, there are so
you named two good ones.
Incredible creators out there.
Do you think there's still any what people call white spaces left in the beauty industry at this point? Like, haven't we reached saturation? Like, what could possibly be invented? Do you think there's still things that we need?
You never know. I always think that something else could come up.
And do you think there's an area that obviously brows, you started a trend and a lot of companies started doing brow products more. Is there an area that is ripe for another kind of Anastasia invasion? Like everybody needs to get on the combs. Everybody needs better combs, hair combs.
If I go back and I will think as I build this company, I think we kind of combine science with beauty. I started with eyebrows. Yes, I created products for eyebrows. Then the same concept on the golden ratio, I realized, I start asking myself why we use makeup. And I start asking myself, well, this is almost like in art school. You have a piece of paper and with the pencil, you start drawing that and you create nose, you create cheekbones, you create eyes. Well, makeup is exactly the same thing. And by teaching my daughter and talking with my team about how important contouring is, we created a contour kit. Not that contouring didn't exist in Hollywood and most
but the education part.
But the consumer didn't know about it. And we created a contour kit. So we put together something that it exists, but never for the consumer and explaining
to make
how
it simple.
Then I was telling my daughter that I hate lipstick because my lipstick disappears after 5 minutes. She created that liquid lipstick.
Color payoff.
Yeah.
There.
Then the glow kits. Not that the glow didn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay. But we put it on in a kit, 4 colors, and we start talking about on Instagram. The consumers start embracing glow kit. So it's always a spin that it exists in beauty, but somebody will put it differently, that the consumer pays attention.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
I was actually talking with somebody this morning. I was getting my brows done, but they were just filling them in. And I said, I think they're too big right now. And she said, everyone's saying, this is makeup artist. She's like that. We went so far with the big brow, like the bushy brow, the boy brow, however you want to say it. And now the pendulum is swinging the other way. But what you're talking about with this golden ratio seems trendless, trend resistant.
Thank you very much. Yes.
What do you think about the idea of brow trends?
Trends should be only on colors. You want to go lighter, darker, red, because you color your hair. But eyebrows should never be trendy as thickness. The shape of the eyebrows from the beginning, this is what I keep telling
Yeah.
everyone, your eyebrow should be according your bone structure and natural eyebrow shape. The shape should not change.
But can it go from thicker to thinner? Like if we take the shape, it's just picture like
You need to see
Yes.
Anastasia's face
And
right now.
I don't think
She's
she was
like, what
pleased.
am I not saying?
Yeah, no, but picture like, okay, if I maintain the same shape,
Yes.
but I just go a little skinnier some months or some years, and then a little fatter other years.
But
Is that okay?
remember, if you go a little thinner,
Mhm.
sometimes the hair doesn't grow back.
That's true.
Okay, so this is the only problem with eyebrows. Even if you
I'm looking
want
at your brows. sorry.
for a photo
Go
shoot,
look.
let's say you want to go 1930 and you go very thin, very,
Yeah.
Jane Harlow. Well, guess what? The eyebrow may not grow back and you are stuck with that skinny eyebrow.
Why is that? Why is it that eyebrows don't grow
Because
back?
the hair follicle is very fine and very delicate. And once you start tweezing too much or removing the hair, the hair doesn't grow back. It's not like the hair follicle
like
in
that.
your head.
Nobody. This is the first thing I'm going to tell my daughter.
Yes,
Because
don't tweeze your eyebrows.
That it does not, because nobody knew. At least I didn't.
I think it's that repeated, it creates like a scar tissue almost, right? Like it's a damage that the follicle's
The
done.
follicle is not strong enough.
So what do you
like-
think of Jess's brows?
I
I'll
mean,
do me next.
Hmm.
I want to know what she says.
This is for like something I want private
She,
offline.
yes,
Oh,
I will.
fine.
We'll talk in
Oh,
private.
see, that means it's bad.
I was ready.
No, it's not bad. It's beautiful. You have beautiful eyebrows.
Okay, so the question we ask everybody that
Yes.
comes on Fat Mascara
Yes.
is about their own personal products. You walked in here,
Mhm.
stylish as can be, like,
Oh,
Thank
stunning.
you.
I'm feeling it. Tell us about some of your favorite beauty things other than Anastasia. Is that a natural hair color?
Your
No.
hair's
Are you
great.
kidding
It's
me?
gorge.
My hair
Who does your
is
hair?
very dark like yours.
Like
No.
me.
was
brunette?
originally,
Yeah.
yes. But I have some wise hair, which is the gray hair. And I decided to go blonde because it's so much easier.
And now, do you get facials or who does your
Yes.
brows and your skin these days?
Well, I do my own eyebrows, but I get facials. I have a salon, or I go to Barbara if sometimes she has pop-up shops, and I go and I get my facials there.
Okay.
yes.
What about fragrance? I'm going through the
I
whole
use
thing.
only one fragrance, and it's Frederic Malle Portrait of a Lady. That's my I
Smell
have.
it as soon as you
It's
walk into
on
the
brand
studio.
for you,
Oh,
I
yes.
think.
It's
Do you know,
beautiful.
I go to the office and people already know my smell, and I'm like, oh, she's here.
Ah,
Uh-oh.
love
See, if you're the
that.
boss, that's kind of scary.
Yes.
I
It's
love
like,
that.
She's here.
she got here earlier
And now
than I did.
I start giving a few presents of some of the girls that they love the fragrance, and just to divert, like,
Oh,
is
like a
she here?
decoy.
A decoy.
She's
A
like 7
fragrance
a.m.
decoy.
Somebody else goes in to be like,
That's so funny. Just have someone, your assistant, spray it in
Yes,
the office to
yes.
keep people on
I
their
had a
feet.
boss like that where I knew where she
Really?
was because I could, yeah.
That's
She
funny.
wore fracas.
Oh,
Fracas.
that's
is a-
Fracas. No,
fracas,
fracas.
yes,
that's-
Madonna used to wear that.
Yeah, it's a big
fragrance.
white floral.
Fracas, yes.
Yeah. And what else? And what's in your cabinet right now as far as like beauty products?
Oh
you're
my
loving?
God! I have no.
Is it insane?
It's a Sephora in my bathroom. I have so many products.
And
I
do
have
you
to
use?
try my own products. I
It's a
want
lot
to
of
see
lab
how
samples.
they performed. I have to approve a lot of the products.
Did we ask you all the questions? What should we have asked you that we didn't ask you?
I don't know. You guys tell me. How is working with my daughter?
I don't know, but those eyeshadow palette, the Norvina ones, that's her
Aren't they
middle name,
amazing? No. So growing
her
up
name?
in Romania
right? Yeah.
was a law, believe it or not, that I couldn't call my name. I mean, give my daughter's name Norvina because
Why?
they said was not a Romanian name. And I said, but this is her
It's communist
grandfather's
country
name,
then.
communist country. Like, no, you have to tell me a Romanian name. I'm like, okay, Claudia, because the lady before
Yeah.
me was, and Claudia was like a popular name. So I named her Claudia, but everybody in Romania call her Norvina. So
That's I've been tempted by Norvina to
But-
wear some shadows that like I would
I'm-
never have thought of wearing that color, but they don't look chalky and they're
No.
really bright and you just do a little on the lash line. I'm like,
correct.
I'm experimenting because
A
of
little
that.
on the lash line.
Remember
They-
that bright orange one I wore on
Yeah,
Instagram and
yeah.
everybody's freaking out? It
Oh, yeah,
was
people
from
liked it.
But
It
they
was from
are
that
so
palette.
good. They are not chuck at all.
Yeah.
The quality is incredible. My daughter is a genius, I have to
Oh,
say.
we should have had her on. No, I'm just
Yes,
kidding.
you should.
Maybe next.
She never travels, but you should.
Okay,
She
well,
is-
next time we're in Beverly Hills.
You are?
No, when we are, we'll come visit you.
Please do.
Okay.
I didn't know you have an office there.
Yeah, sure. We don't. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Next time we travel there.
But
we'll
let's
go
Yeah.
do
there.
it from our office.
Yeah.
could do that.
Ooh, I love that.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on
This
Fat
was
Mascara.
great.
Thank you very much, ladies, and keep your eyebrows on point.
Love it. We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us, or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Razor One product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.